We could just talk about the Fed, but I think we got what a multitude of riches. We've got the BOE and the ECB to talk about. Let's talk about that first. Everybody's behind the curve, but we look good compared to those other two entities, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know how good we look, relatively speaking, but yeah, all central banks fumbled the ball in 2021 and waited too long to respond to the surge in inflation, and they're still catching up. I think they all still have a ways to go. If you look at the level of nominal policy rates relative to the run rate of inflation, where inflation is expected to be over the near term, the next 6 to 12 months, they all have deeply negative or some real rates, and the history is pretty clear that that's insufficient to by itself restrain inflation. We've gotten some good luck lately. CPI report yesterday was good news, but the fall in energy prices since the summer and commodity prices seems to have been a bit of good luck, and those typically bleed into core to a reasonable extent. So they've benefited from good luck in recent months, but there's still abundant inflation pressures in the pipeline. And I'd point to wage setting, where our best measures, the ones that aren't polluted by the composition effects that affect the average hourly earnings in the employment report, are showing wage gains of over 6%. And that, plus the fact that measures of expected inflation are, between 5.5% and 7 or 7.5%, suggests that there's still a fair amount of momentum in inflation, and that they haven't gone far enough.
Yeah, Jeff, Chair Powell saying all the right things, and we were just talking about confidence and credibility and all kinds of things. Do you think when he says these things that people look back to what the Fed was saying about inflation and that it was transitory? Does he need to regain that credibility for the markets to sit up and pay attention to exactly what he's saying? Because they're still not, they don't seem to believe him.
No doubt their credibility took a hit last year, but I've been impressed and pleased with how forthright he has been in his communications this year about the intention of the committee to bring inflation down, even if that involves some pain and dislocation and obviously a recession. He very clearly doesn't want to be the Burns. He wants to be the Volcker. And they've been really clear about that. What I don't think they've been clear about is what it's likely to take. And I have a feeling that they all know, but they've been sort of sugarcoating it in these economic projections they release. So this one, again, they've sort of made some concessions to reality and have moved up a bit. So growth is low, 0.5% on GDP next year and this year.
Yeah, okay.
Inflation comes down very rapidly to 3.1% from like 5.6.